First thing I want to do is apologize because I had to cancel on several events this week. I had to save my voice. I actually lost it twice last week. Some people would say this is a blessing, but I'm going to go with the fact that some of you all actually want to hear me speak. So I will be doing a follow-up sometime this week on those people where I had to skip out on, and again, I apologize for that. But I wanted to talk briefly about the importance of clubs, because later you're going to hear an update from the GOP on volunteers and outreach. The reality is, we are the volunteers. We are the welcoming smile for your neighbors and friends, the grassroots and the first point of contact that many of you have into the political process. This movement is not about personalities. It is about remembering the greatness of our country, what we once had and what can be again. A foundation of faith, family, and country in that order. At the end of my time, I'll be nothing more than a speck of history. But what we built here, what we built together, will live on through this generation and the next. It will be a light of hope and a foundation for how a country can and should be governed. We can do this, and we will do this by joining together. We have active committees and events, fundraising and legislative, as well as opportunities for outreach. Many of you have already been called, so please reach out if you have any specific area where you'd like to help. Whether it's here or with the GOP directly, many hands make the work light. Now I'm going to go into a couple things here. The picnic, how many attended the picnic out here? All right. Thank you, that was a fun time. We made some changes to the picnic. We're looking at the things that worked and what didn't work, but overall, it was a really good time. And it's one of the most fun things we do on an annual basis. Nice and relaxed where everyone gets a chance to talk to each other. Now, the other thing I want to cover here, part of our core principle is that not only do we promote conservative values, but we also support candidates. And we support candidates both financially and by volunteering. In order to support candidates financially, we have to raise money. So what are we going to do with that? We, and by we I mean Pat, are going to have a yard sale, but it's going to be a different type of yard sale. It's going to be collectible items, and the lowest dollar value will be $15, but we will make sure there are some items around $15 for that. And all proceeds go to the Western Wake Republican Club. Now, in addition to the large flyer, you'll have these little cards here, and these are reminder cards. If you have something that you want to donate to the yard sale, the top part has your name and your phone number, and then a spot where you can circle when you prefer to drop this off. And this tells us how many people to have ready, because we're going to have a drop off the day before and really early in the morning, the day of the yard sale. And then, of course, at the bottom, we also have the date, time, and location as a reminder. Now, in addition to that, and I have to say this for the Board of Elections and to make Dixie happy, there's an in-kind donation form. This is required from the Board of Elections. And when you drop off your item, we'll walk you through this. We promise we're not asking for your firstborn child, but there is information that the Board of Elections wants us to take in. Oh, a couple other things on here. For the yard sale, it will be at American Legion Post 67 in Cary at 8534 Chapel Hill Road. Again, donated items can be left the evening prior to the sale. We do need 4 volunteers to help people bring in their donated items and to help do the setup. And you can see Pat Batco for that, to help coordinate with that as well. move on to the business meeting. Before I go on to the business meeting, one thing I'm gonna tell y'all is, many of you have noticed that Dave Boliak is not here tonight. This is interesting. It's one of these, be careful what you wish for. We wanted an auditor who would dig into things and who would get things done. Well, there's apparently an emergency legislative meeting tonight.
He's working for us.
Yes, he is working for us right now as we speak, and he will be, from what you said, all night, including his entire staff, which is why we couldn't have anyone else from his staff either. So that is a fantastic thing as far as for North Carolina, and also for Wake County as well. Now, let's see, the minutes. In the red folder are the minutes from the last club meeting on May 26th. I want y'all to take a minute. Are there any suggested changes to the minutes? Okay, hearing none. I'd like to move this for approval.
Second.
Okay, it's hereby seconded.
Jonathan Clayton seconded.
All those in favor of approving the minutes from last meeting, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the minutes are entered into record. Okay, now Dixie Fisher will give this month's treasury report.